truly embody the remembrance of how you got here, how this whole thing works, how the earth got here, what we're doing here, what is this physical evolution, how do I feel my emotions even more, how do I love myself, how do I look at the shadow of what's going on the planet and feel it through my body, how do I remember that there are no accidents, that this is divine, this is a design, this is all a design, your body's a design, the physical planet's a design. And everything that I'm going to be speaking about tonight, everything that I speak about in general, is you already know this. You know all of this. This is not like, oh, I'm going to teach you something. I'm just reminding you of what you forgot before you incarnated into the physical body. And even if you remember, you forget as soon as you turn your TV on, or you get into your car, or you argue with your partner, or you hate your job, right? Or whatever else is going on. The more that you can embody on a daily basis the remembrance of this entire design, the easier life will be for you. The more you will break free. The more you will be able to see the chaos and the shit show that's happening out there and internally, because you remember the divine design in all of it. It doesn't make it easy, right? And it doesn't make it go away. But you remember. You remember. So that's my intention for this evening. I am going to do some Q&A at the end, so hold your questions until the end. So let's start with, what is the divine design? And I want you all, I encourage you all to let your bodies sink into the chair. Let your breath move through your body. Let yourself be reminded that there's no accidents. Everything that happened before you got here, let it go. Everything that's going to happen as soon as you get off these chairs, let it go. Be here in this energy with me, with the messages, with the codes, with the activations, with whatever is going on. But let it penetrate you in a way where you will walk out with this deeper remembrance. So be in this with me. Feel. Forget about whether it makes sense or not. Just be in this. Because the human journey is quite, there are no words. There are no freaking words for this human journey. So let's go back to where it all began. How did Earth become Earth, and how did you get here? Earth is a consciousness, correct? You're a consciousness. So let's remember really quickly what consciousness is. Consciousness is energy. And whether you believe in God or source or whatever you're going to call it, it's an energy. The other day I was on my yoga mat, and you know, a lot of you guys know that I do channeling and I speak to like higher dimension. I mean, the whole book came through from galactic beings, right? And I was on my yoga mat, going through some stuff with some guy I was dating, kind of dating, not really dating. Yeah. And is that your phone?
No, but we took a picture and then it disappeared. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Is it here?
No.
This one's not my phone. I am so sorry to interrupt.
No problem. Thank you, God, for interrupting us. So I was on the yoga mat, going through whatever I was going through personally with some guy. feeling abandonment. And the way I live my life is I let it just move. I let it destroy me. I just let it burn me up. Like, bring it on. Just if I die, I die. Like, in terms of, emotional deaths, spiritual deaths, just let it destroy me. And I feel like the more that I can let whatever I'm going through destroy me, meaning that it breaks me, it allows me to realize how powerless I am to the energies that we experience. That the energy of this world, you cannot run from the energy of this world. You can't run from energy. And everything that's moving and coursing through your body is energy. Every emotion, thought, belief, behavior, it's all energy. So the more that I can be in whatever energy is moving through me, the easier life becomes. I just let it move. So here I am on my yoga mat, literally like having a fucking nervous breakdown. And I hear this voice come in. And it comes in from my left, and it's a big presence. And it said, hand it to me. Hand it to me. I said, what is this? And it said, this is God. And I'm like, God? Like, I'm used to like galactic beings and whatever, but God? The hell? And I was like, what's God? I was like, you mean like God? Like the God people like God? And it said, yes, hand everything over to me. Hand over your pain, your suffering, hand it over to me. I don't ever hand anything over. And the presence was energy. It was just energy. It was light. It was what they experience in near-death experiences, where they say there's light, the light comes in. Not necessarily a person, but a light. And when this light came in, it was love. It was safety. It was absolute knowingness that I could experience whatever I was going through, that it was okay. And this consciousness that we call God, or whatever we want to call it, is the spark where all of us came from. We have it in our bodies. You are that consciousness. And so Earth is that consciousness. We're standing on a consciousness that is that light. Your breath is moving that light through you right now. Every single one of us in this room is breathing that light through them. It just is. So when you have this consciousness, you have free will. You can do whatever you want as consciousness, as light. So Earth had this great idea that, we call it a she. It's just an energy. She wanted to experience physicality, which is what you wanted to experience. It's the only reason why you're here. Earth said, I want to experience physicality, and I want to experience physicality, and then I want to move into different dimensions while I'm in the physical form. So she created, with the help of higher dimensional energies, this physical planet. She created this entire game that we see. All of it. All of it. Every single thing that you can see in the sky was designed for her experiment. Everything. And remember, don't listen to the words. Let these words hit your beingness. And so once she created her physical form, once she created all the things that are in the sky that we see, the stars, the planets, all of it, the universes upon universes, that we think are somehow, made out of gas and whatever the science tells us, it's consciousness. Everything is consciousness, nothing's gas. It's all consciousness. So then she says, okay, let's play in this. I don't want to do this alone. Let's have some consciousnesses in physical forms do this with me. Move from a 5th dimensional frequency to a 7th dimensional frequency, right? That was her intention. So why did she choose the 5th dimension? Because in the 5th dimension, right, there isn't a polarity or duality. Right? Polarity and duality makes it a shit show to be in a physical form. It's insane. It is insane. It's what we're in. It's craziness. Because with polarity and duality, you experience opposites. 5th dimensional consciousness, the 5th dimension doesn't have that large of a spectrum. So there isn't a spectrum of fear and love. You know, there is love and peace and flow and awareness and contentment, the things that we are stepping into on a daily basis. So she said this will be easy. Be super fun, it'll be super easy, and we're going to have some other forms on the planet at the same time, and consciousness will come into those forms, and we'll shift. And so many of you were like, oh, as consciousness, I'm going to go down and play in that experiment. What is physicality? What is it like to be in a form? Think of how crazy it is that you're in a form right now. You're in a physical body as light. Light. Frequency. It's in your body. Your body is holding that. And we really screwed up because we're in the 3rd dimension now. But even in the 5th dimension, you're dense. So you dropped in, many of you, millions of years ago, in this 5th dimensional realm on a beautiful 5th dimensional planet, and started playing in the human journey. And millions of years later, humans and other beings that dropped in, that weren't human, started playing in other realities. So they started tapping into control. They started playing with greed. So if you understand the quantum field, okay, which you all do, the quantum field is the space where everything exists. Everything exists. Everything can be experienced. Anything and everything. So if you're in a 5th dimensional field and you're standing on a planet in a physical body, you can tap into greed. You can tap into control. You can tap into these things. Just like right now, you can tap into peace. Peace is with you right now. Joy is with you right now. It is not found outside of you. There's nowhere to go to find peace. There's nowhere to go to find love. There's nowhere to go to find contentment. It's right here, right now. It always has been. So in the 5th dimension, consciousnesses knew this, and so they started playing in other consciousnesses, other energies. And after a very, very long time, the collective consciousness, the collective field of human bodies started to get pulled down into lower frequencies because they were playing in, they were tapping into other realities, other ways of experiencing life. And the more humans that did that, the more the collective started moving into the lower frequencies, right? You remember. Millions of years later, the Earth had been pulled down into a 3rd dimensional realm because the humans on the planet started playing in these lower frequencies. Control, greed, manipulation. Why? I don't freaking know why. Because it was available, they started playing it, and the next thing you know, the entire planet was pulled down. And this was the first time that Earth as a consciousness, and then all the other higher dimensional beings that were assisting Earth, realized that a human body has the capacity to pull an entire human collective down into lower frequencies. Think about that. Your frequency has the potential to impact an entire human collective. Not only that, it has the potential to impact the planetary body. Earth had no idea that was possible because that wasn't part of the plan. Until millions of years later, because of free will, the consciousness inside the human body started playing in and tapping into those lower consciousnesses. So then we find ourselves in the third dimension. And they call that the fall from grace. Many of you were on the planet at that time, which is basically when Lemuria and Atlantis sunk. The earth was recreated in a third dimensional form. The physical body was recreated in a third dimensional form. And it was recreated in a third dimensional form because that's the dimensional field the earth is in, what got pulled down into. So the body, in order to exist on the planet, had to be recreated in a third dimensional form for consciousness. This happened overnight. This happened overnight. There is no time. So as much as it doesn't make sense, it is a memory inside your body right now. And so once Earth was recreated in a third dimensional form, physical body was recreated in a third dimensional form in order to hold your light. We have the chakra systems that move light through, that move the energy through. We have the emotional body, the mental body, the spiritual body, the etheric body. It allows us to process the dense energies that we experience every single day. Then Earth reformed in this third dimensional realm, and then there was a call that went out. And the call was for what we would call light workers. Call it whatever you want. There was no such thing as a light worker prior to the fall from grace, because there was no need for it, and there was no awareness that the human body has that kind of impact on a human collective and a planetary body. Until they watched an entire human collective pull it down. So then the call went out. First call, 15,000 years ago or something like that. Maybe more, who knows. Linear time is linear time. The call went out, and consciousnesses raised their hands and said, I'm going to go in and raise the vibration of the planet. I'm going to go in for the sole purpose of raising the vibration of the planet and playing in this game where we are now going from a third dimension back into a fifth dimension. Like, what in the hell? Third dimension is insane. You can't get any lower in dimensional fields, physically. It's the lowest you can go. And so the first call went out. A bunch of you guys were probably in that call, maybe not, who knows. And slowly but surely, these consciousnesses started to raise the vibration on the planet, slowly, very, very slowly. And the vibration started raising on the planet. The human body's vibration started raising. And then 5,000 years ago, the vibration was pretty high, almost as high as it is now. And we had higher dimensional light beings coming onto the planet, assisting us in raising our vibrations physically. You call them whatever you want to call them, Palladians, Arcturians, whatever, it doesn't matter the name, higher dimensional beings. They started creating these sacred spots like Machu Picchu, and the human bodies, us, started to go to these places, and we started practicing holding our vibrations in these higher states. And then what happened was fourth dimensional beings started coming onto the planet at the same time, and reptilians, and they started pulling the frequency of the human collective down. They infiltrated the human bodies. They were curious. They did all the abductions and the hybridization programs and all this shit that you hear about now. They started back then. Curiosity. How does consciousness work in a body? What is DNA? DNA started from the Earth's experiment. That's where it started, millions of years ago. DNA didn't start from higher dimensional consciousnesses. It started from the experiment of how do we create a human form that can hold consciousness. So these races came in and they started pulling humanity down. They started infiltrating the human bodies and pulling the energies of the human bodies down. And all of a sudden it was like, holy shit. They're going back down. They're going back down. They're going back down. Shit. What are we going to do? So they sent out another call for light workers. This is when the ascended masters came in that we know about, right? And Jesus came in. Mary Magdalene came in. Kuan Yin came in. All these like masters that we look at and we're like, damn, they were masters that basically what you would call ascended in the physical form, right? So they mastered the physical form, which is what you are all doing right now. You're mastering how to be on the third dimensional physical plane, moving into a fifth dimensional physical reality. That's what you're doing. So this second call went out. Consciousnesses came in and we're like, let's do this. About 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. Didn't work that well. But eventually, these lower dimensional beings, these fourth dimensional beings that are pretty intelligent pretty intelligent light beings, they started to create atomic bombs. They started to destroy the physical planet back in, like, I don't know, maybe it was like 1920s, 1930s. And when that happened, there was higher dimensional beings that came in and stopped it. And when they came in and stopped it, which is, they're assisting us right now as well, right? These higher dimensional beings. When they stopped it, they started pulling the fourth dimensional beings off the planet. And they sent out a third call for light workers. Most of you answered that third call. So even though it was back in the 1920s, 1930s, most of you guys came in with that third call, which means at some point you decided to incarnate. And the third call was the most important call. Because the third call was all about being in this physical evolution, which is what we're in right now. The physical evolution of standing in the physical body and shifting yourselves back into a fifth dimensional realm, fifth dimensional frequency. It's not woo-woo, it's not spiritual, it's just dimensions, it's just physics. And for whatever reason, you thought that was a good idea. You were going to come in and you were going to assist. And so you popped in. You came into the physical body. You chose, the Akashic record, right? So you chose what your experiences were going to be in terms of your core consciousnesses, the things that you were really going to struggle with in life. Right? Mine's abandonment, unworthiness. I don't know, I got a handful of them, right? They just keep coming up and coming up and coming up. Those are the core consciousnesses you chose in the Akashic record. You chose your family members. You chose contracts with people. You chose a purpose, perhaps, a signature of like what you really wanted to do. And you're like, I'm ready to go in. I'm going down. Oh, and then you're not going to remember any of it. You're not going to remember any of it. And the whole purpose of doing this is to awaken an entire human collective in a planetary body. I don't know why you did it, but that's what you did. And that's why you're here. And so we're standing here now in 2023 and we're actually watching the perfection of what has always been designed. There's nothing out of place, nothing out of whack, nothing messed up, nothing going wrong. There's nothing that's not supposed to be happening. This is the human evolution in consciousness. It's that simple. It's so freaking simple that when you start to really remember what it is that you're doing here, you start to relax. You start to just relax. You're like, holy shit, I am in this. Let's do this. Like, I'm good. But you have to remember. So what we're in right now, what you're in right now, is a physical dimensional shift. The frequency in your body is shifting. You're not shifting, your consciousness. Your consciousness, your light is not shifting. The physical body that you're in is shifting. And so what does it mean when your physical body shifts? Right? What does that look like? And how are you doing it? Well, the first thing you have to be aware of in this human evolution and consciousness, if you haven't been on the planet the last 3 years, is that there is an external shift at the same time as the internal shift. They both happen simultaneously. So if you imagine that you're in a cloud, okay, that's the human collective. Every single physical body creates a human collective. It creates a frequency. There's a frequency in this room that we're all creating together. It could probably be weighed by something. If we had like a little machine, it could weigh the frequency. You bring different bodies into here, the frequency is going to change, right? So there's a human collective frequency that has to shift. And then there's the individual body that you're in that's shifting. That's the internal work that you've been doing. That's been driving you crazy. That's you don't know you don't know how you're gonna get through the next freaking day. Like it's too much. That's the physical shift. And so you're literally simultaneously watching an entire human collective go through a shadow, while you simultaneously are going through your own internal shadow. You realize how intense that is. What is a shadow? A shadow is everything that you are not consciously participating in, that you are not conscious that you are participating in, right? Victimhood, fear, manipulation, greed, unworthiness, insecurity, jealousy, lack. I don't know, what else are you guys going through, right? There's a handful, there's so many shadow aspects of our individual human experience and the collective. And the only way that we move through this is to see the shadow. All of the shadow. Every tiny little piece of shadow inside your physical body. The shadowy pieces that you didn't even realize were in there are going to come up. While you stand and look out at the world and say, what in the F is going on? Like, what you're because you're seeing all the shadow of the human collective. And the body is in charge. So what does it mean that your body is in charge? Your body is going to show you what it is that you need to feel. Your body's going to show you what it is that you need to see in terms of the thoughts. Your body's going to tell you to slow down. How? It's tired. It doesn't feel good. It's got sickness, whatever's going on. Your body's going to show you everything. But what we're constantly doing is we're in our minds. We're not in our bodies. And we're in control. And there's nothing that you can control in this human evolution. You can't control your emotions because it's energy. It's designed to just move. You can't control your thoughts as much as people want to argue that. Your thoughts are just energy. They're designed to move. You can't control your trauma. You can't control your healing. Your healing will arise, meaning what needs to be seen will arise. And you'll say, holy shit, look at what I need to look at. Look at what I need to see. The more that you do this, the more that you realize that everything is energy, everything's moving through you, and you remember the bigger picture. Holy shit, we're going from a third dimensional field to a fifth dimensional field on a physical planet that's doing the same thing that's already in a fifth dimensional field, but we're not going to talk about that right now, right? And we have to see the shadow. That's how frequency rises. Oh, and by the way, you're not in charge of raising your vibration. You're not. Maybe this isn't like the most popular thing to say to Conscious Life Expo, but you're literally not in charge of changing your frequency or your vibration. And what that means is that the more that you allow yourself to simply be in what is, your vibration raises. You're safe, you're whole, you're complete, you're God, you're all of it right here, right now. That is the master. That is standing in a fifth dimensional frequency, a fifth dimensional field. That's standing in higher states of consciousness. When you realize there's nowhere to run, there's nothing to do, there's nowhere to go with what arises. That you are constantly allowing yourself to burn. And why are you letting yourself burn over and over and over? Literally, like, I cannot do this another day. Please, God, I cannot do this another day. How am I going to do this? Because you incarnated to raise an entire planetary body's frequency. That's why. It's not even about you. And yet it has everything to do with you. And this is a knowingness that you have inside of you. This is an absolute. This is the why of being here. And so many of you probably are like, what am I supposed to be doing here? What am I supposed to be doing here? I know this sucks. I'm just doing a regular job. I'm just working at the bank. I'm working at a grocery store. I'm doing nothing. Nothing's an accident. Where you are there's no accidents. There's no mistakes. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, experiencing exactly what you are supposed to experience in order for you to be in your highest calling. How do you be in your highest calling? How do you be in the highest service to yourself and to humanity? You remember who you are. You remember that you're not the human experience. You remember that you're not your emotions, that you're not your thoughts, you're not your behaviors. How do you do that? You feel freaking everything. You recognize what you're controlling. You recognize what you don't want to feel. You recognize what you're changing and what you're fixing. You recognize the patterns that you continue to go into. Oh, I'm falling into this one again. Oh, dating the same type of person again. Oh, finding myself in the same patterns with my mom. Oh, right? You recognize it. You observe it. Simply observing frees you. It frees you. Observing what you're doing. Observing what you're feeling. Observing it. And not judging yourself. How the heck can you judge yourself when it's not your fault? It's not your... It's crazy to me. You're in a physical... By the way, you actually agreed to be in all of this. So your trauma is not your fault. Your patterns aren't your fault. The anger and the rage isn't your fault. None of it. The job you hate isn't your fault. It's nobody else's fault. It just is. It's allowing you it's gifting you an opportunity for evolution, which means, what is it showing me? What is this showing me? Every single one of us is designed to be in this battlefield, in it, and evolve and master it. And you don't run. We're not designed to run. We're not designed to change. We're not designed to fix. We're designed to recognize that this is an experience as consciousness in the physical body. Wow, holy shit, I'm inside something. What in the freak? I'm inside something. Something is moving. Something is breathing me. The heart is moving. Your heart is beating right now. There's blood moving through your entire body. There are cells that created your organs. Like this is happening right here, right now. Your lungs are opening and closing. And you are an awareness inside of this. You're an awareness. And with this awareness, the physical body is going to show you everything that is keeping you enslaved. Keeping you in the illusion that you're any of it. So that you can be free in this absolute crazy evolution that we're in for a very long time. It's not going to get quieter or easier in the external world, or perhaps in your internal world. You are here to find peace in the midst of all of this. You are here to find calm in the midst of all of this. You are here to be the example. What are you running from? Think in your mind what you run from. Think in your mind what you don't like feeling. Think in your mind what you're always trying to fix or change when it arises, when it comes up. Oh, I got an idea. Think of all the judgments that you have about yourself all throughout the day. Those are the gifts. That's the evolution. That's the shift. That's how you become the master. That's how you raise your frequency, which is not you, it's the body. You sit in the most uncomfortable of uncomfortable. You feel it, and then you watch it move. And then you're like, holy shit, that just moved, and now it's not here. Holy cow, what else is going to arise and then just not be there, and something else is going to arise and then it's going to go away, and something else is going to arise. All for the evolution in human consciousness. So an example this morning, massive insecurity I was feeling. Oh my God, insecure about my talk, insecure about my friendships, insecure about this guy, I'm insecure about everything. Insecurity was so loud. It was so freaking loud, I thought I was going to explode in my head. Because the more you become the observer, the louder these aspects get. And then the louder they get, the more you're like, I don't even know how to drink my Starbucks. Like, this is so loud in my head. It's so loud. But you're observing it. You're feeling it. You're observing it. I'm like, okay, here comes the really loud insecurity. And then it just takes you all day, right? It's like, it just distracts you all day long. And it pulls you out of an aligned state where you can, you feel good, I'm badass, I'm, whatever. No, insecurity comes in and says, you are not a badass, I'm sorry, but you are not really worthy of a lot, and you are, blah, 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 right? And the gift in that is, one, am I observing? Am I aware that I'm having these thoughts? Am I aware that I am believing these thoughts? Am I believing these thoughts? How loud is it getting? And it exhausts you because you're so aware. It's so loud. It's so uncomfortable. But the key is, at some point, I knew it would no longer be there. And so all I had to do was just go for the ride. If you know that you're not what you're experiencing, you'll go on the ride. Which means that you're in, you're feeling it, you're seeing it, you're observing it, you're watching it, you're uncomfortable. It's not comfortable going through what we're all going through. Sorry, it's not. And yet there is a peace that is found. So here's the crazy thing. I was in all this insecurity. Oh, it was so uncomfortable. And I kind of hide when I do this. Like I go inward. I go into I don't talk a lot. I don't want to really have conversation with people because I'm just so engrossed in my insecure thoughts that are popping in. And it just gets louder and louder, right? But the interesting piece about it is the more patient I am, the more that I'm observing it, the more I am at peace. So I'm literally like, oh, I'm actually calm and in peace while I'm also simultaneously feeling these deep insecurities that come up. I'm not trying to get rid of it. There is a peace and a calm that is available for you in any moment, no matter what you're feeling. Always. You're learning how to find that. You're learning how, or you're remembering how to find calm, to find peace, to find love within that's always there, to find acceptance. So these are all, we talk about, or we do a lot of things that try to pull us into these states. What can I do to feel more peace? What can I do to feel more love? What can I do to feel more calm? What can I do? Blah, 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 right? We crave it. We try to find it. We try to figure out how to get there. And when you do that, you're pulling yourself out of presence. And you're trying to control. And you are most likely running from what actually just wants to arise in order to bring you to presence, peace, calm. Everything that is being gifted to you right now is an invitation, not only to wholeness, which is what you already are. You're whole, you're complete, you're good as a consciousness, you're good. You've just been in a human experience in a third dimensional realm that has told you otherwise, that has immediately pulled you out of your body and out of safety. I mean, we even have, if you think about what we step into as consciousness in a body, think about, I was talking to my friend the other day about this. Think about, there's no judgment around parents that do this, but think about on a consciousness level, the crying out method. Okay, that your consciousness, you're dropped into a human body, you have no fucking idea how you got here, what this is, like what is this physical form, am I safe to be here, what's this noise, you're just like, it's sensory overload, and then you're put in a room where it's black and dark, the only thing you know how to do to get any sort of comfort is to cry, and then you're ignored. There's nothing wrong with this, okay? I'm just pointing out what we step into, which immediately creates this feeling of not feeling safe in the world. Immediately, you are programmed into not feeling safe in the world. Then you are raised perhaps with parents that say, don't do this, don't do that, feel this, feel that. Don't feel that, don't do it. The deep, deep programming that you're stepping out of is massive. It's massive. And there is an external collapsing of the shadow as well, right? So you are in a world right now that has so deeply programmed us that we have to stand and see all of this deep programming. We have to see and feel the evil and the corruption and the greed. We have to feel all that. We have to stand in it and feel it. And then we got to figure out how we're going to stand in our own physical bodies and deprogram ourselves. Which basically means I have to accept everything that's inside of me. I have to accept everything that arises. I have to allow. I have to feel safe. How do you feel? You want to know the easiest way to feel safe in the world? You just start feeling everything. What am I feeling right now? Now what am I feeling? Now what am I feeling? And the more you feel everything all day long, the more you realize that you are safe to feel everything and you no longer run. You don't run from anything. And when you stop running, you're in presence. You're in the now. And the more that you're in the more that you're in presence, the more you're whole, the more you're in peace, the more you're in flow. It doesn't take away from the trauma that pops in. It doesn't take away from all the other stuff that you're going to feel that you don't want to feel. It doesn't take away from that. You still feel that, but you don't give a shit because you're just like, I'm good. What else? I'm good. What else? I'm good. And then you teach that to the rest of the humans around you. You teach it by being it. So back to what a lot of you guys may be feeling, which is, what am I here to do? Why do I feel like there's something for me to do and I don't know what it is? You're doing it. You're doing it right now. The amount of assistance, the amount of impact that you make that you're not aware of is indescribable. You have no idea. You don't realize the impact that you're making every single day with people just by showing up. In fact, those of you that can't stand your job, bravo, because you're doing even a more powerful service to humanity. And yet you drive to work every day, or you do whatever, you take the bus, and you are beating yourself up, and you're screaming at yourself, and you're yelling at yourself. I'm in the wrong job. This sucks. This I shouldn't be in this. Blah, whatever you're saying. Meanwhile, the higher awareness that you are is like, bravo. Freaking bravo. You are doing such an incredible job going to the job that you hate. Because the amount of people that you're impacting there that you would never be able to impact, because if you were doing this, like, whatever beautiful job that you look at and you're like, oh, I want to do this, the type of impact that you would make would most likely not be as big. It just wouldn't. We don't realize, we forget what we already designed for ourselves to experience. I'm not supposed to be at this job. Pretty sure you are, because you're in the job. I'm not supposed to be in this town that I'm in. Yeah, you are, because you're in it. I'm not supposed to be, in this relationship. Well, you're in the relationship. So yeah, you are designed to be in it. Until at some other moment, there is such a deep sense of calm and peace that it shifts, if it's designed to shift. The moment you trust so deeply that there is a bigger design happening in your life, there's something so much bigger happening in your life. No matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter where you live, no matter how much money you make, there is a deeper design happening right here, right now. For you, with you. And absolutely nothing is an accident with whatever it is that you're in. That is the evolution. You're here to remember that. You're here to remember all of this. You're here to remember how this whole thing works. And the role that you're here to make. The role that you're here to play. And you will be shown it over and over and over all day long. so that you can come back to who you are, to why you're here, to your highest expression, so that you can remember how the physical body works, how it processes energy, how it processes emotion. That everything is an experience that's energy. Everything. And that the labels that we use are what put us in a judgment. That's anger. I'm not supposed to feel anger. Just an energy. Yeah, but it's anger. I'm not supposed to feel it. It's just an energy. That's jealousy. I'm not supposed to feel jealousy. I shouldn't feel jealousy. Jealousy doesn't feel good. It's just an energy. What else are you feeling? Insecurity. Right? It's just an energy. It's going to tell you a lot of different things, but the labels themselves box you into a story that isn't true. Holds you back. The labels of the energy hold you back. If think about this, if there were no labels in what you were experiencing, and you were simply just experiencing, how would you go about your day? It would be tumultuous all over the place, but how would you be experiencing it? You would just be experiencing it. You would just be allowing over and over and over again. And you would be realizing, oh, there's the label. There's the label. That's good, that's bad. That's right, that's wrong. I should, I shouldn't. I can, I can't. Whatever it is. None of it's true. And every single one of us in this room, every single one of us in this expo, and millions upon millions on the planet right now, are all here to become masters. You're here to become the master. It's not for Jesus or, Buddha, or that's not what this time is on the planet. You came here to be the master. And everything that's happening in your life is gifting you that. I don't care how old you are. And the master is absolutely free. The master can stand in anything. The master can get burned over and over and over and stands up the next day and says, bring it on, what else? The master realizes what it's doing on the planet. The master doesn't run. The master shows other humans around them how to be in this battle. How to get bruised and beat up and still go forward. Keep your heart wide open. Have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for what the human collective is going through. Have compassion for the fact that you're judging people because you really don't understand why they're doing what they're doing. Or judging yourself because you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. And then a deeper state of surrender. I'm becoming a master. I don't believe I'm becoming a master. Am I becoming a master? Why did I incarnate? Did I incarnate? Am I consciousness? How do I feel everything? I don't want to feel this. I don't want to feel that. And then you tap deeper into this divine design. You tap deeper into the remembrance of wait. Hold on a second. There's something bigger playing out here. I still have to wake up and deal with whoever I'm dealing with that I don't want to deal with. I still have to go to a job I don't like, perhaps. But there's a deeper remembrance a deeper embodiment of what this whole experience is, this whole experiment is. And it's not a bypassing, trying to get out of or be in like love and light. It's the opposite. It's going so deeply into the human experience that, by the way, will be gone in a blink of an eye. This life that maybe you're struggling with, that you can't stand, that you hate, that you wish you weren't in, I don't know, whatever you're going through, moments that I have like that. It's the greatest gift. It's the absolute greatest gift that you're here right now in physical form. That you get to participate in this evolution, that you get to feel everything you're feeling and realizing, holy shit, it is not easy to go through this evolution. Oh my God, the deep programming, this is not easy to step out of. Wow. And you still show up every single day. You still become over and over again the master. You learn. You remember. And it's inevitable. This evolution that we're going through is inevitable. Nothing can stop it. Nothing. Nothing's going to stop your own evolution. Nothing will. You just keep showing up. You keep waking up and you keep feeling. Right? You keep remembering. You keep thinking about the body and how the body works. You keep remembering yourself as consciousness. You keep remembering that there will be a moment where you won't be here on the planet. All of us are dying. We will all be dead at some point. Nobody wants to talk about it. But we're all going to be dead at some point. There will be a moment where your consciousness will not be in the human body. Did you devour this entire human experience? Did you remember why you were here? Did you show up in the greatest possible way that you could? Did you run into that mother freaking fire and not turn around? Because I can promise you, when you're out of your body and you're looking down, I promise you, you will want to jump back in. Lots of near-death experiences I watch where they're like, I don't know. But you'll want to jump back in. You really will. You'll want to accomplish what you came here to accomplish. And it starts with waking up in the morning and literally having anxiety. That is the human experience. That is the human evolution. It's not about, trying to be anything other than who you are. Meaning, it's not even who you are, but what you're experiencing. And then you also hold at the exact same time, this is a divine design. This is all a freaking huge evolution in consciousness. Apparently, I chose to come down and do this. Apparently, this is it. Apparently, every single thing that I'm gifting myself to see is an opportunity to become the master. Apparently, at some point when I'm dead, I'm going to look down and be like, holy shit, that was a ride. Let me get back down there and do it again. All of that is true. Some of you are going through a divorce, right? Or you just lost somebody, or somebody got sick, or who knows what's going on in your life. That's becoming the master. That's shifting an entire human collective. How are you showing up? How are you showing up every single day? Are you becoming the observer? Are you observing? Are you feeling? Are you still judging yourself? Are you letting fear control you? There's nothing wrong with these things. Just be aware. That's it. The awareness breaks you. The awareness brings you into the master. The awareness brings you into the remembrance. So if we were to go down the line, right, and I asked every single one of you, right, there's probably something that you're fighting against in your life, something that is not okay. And that's what you want to allow in. That's what you want to surrender into. And then there's something else. And then there's something else. And this is how you shift an entire human collective. You shift the entire human collective by allowing yourself to experience everything that you're experiencing. And then you can stand in whatever unravels in the external world. You can stand in that dark, dark shadow that's going to continue to present itself. The corruption and all of it. You just allow it. Nothing scares you. Nothing pulls you out of your heart because you've been practicing it within your own being. Right? You've been practicing it every moment of every day. And then the whole world starts shifting. It already is. So it's not a fight against. We're not fighting against anything. We're surrendering into all of it. Because there's a deeper remembrance that this is all perfect. This is exactly how it's supposed to go. And what if there's nothing you need to control? And then in your head you're going to be like, yeah, there is, I gotta control. What if there's nothing you need to control? What if there's a greater consciousness or energy that's moving us right now, that is us? What if there's something so much bigger that's connected to all of us, that is us, that's just bringing us back into that which has always been consciousness? And then it just becomes the awareness that you're in a human journey, that you're in a human experience that's in a very low dimensional field, that's shifting dimensions. That's shifting dimensions. That is insane. Because the only way that we shift is by experiencing all of it, all of this, every single thing. Everything that we don't want to feel. That's how it shifts. That's how it works. You can't wish the battlefield isn't the battlefield. You can't cross your fingers and bring yourself into some new earth. The new earth is right here. It's inside of you. It's the peace is right here. The calm is right here. There is nothing outside of you that's going to bring you anything. The awareness is great. And understanding dimensional fields is great. Understanding timelines is great. But are you able to stand in your own shit every single day over and over and over again? That's how you do this. Everything else is a reflection or a projection out. I want to be ... I want to feel. I want to be in ... I want to be out of ... The biggest illusion of this human journey is that we have the power to change or fix any of it. Yes, choice is very, very huge. Obviously, we have to choose. Choice is very different than control. It's very, very different than control. And so the more aware you become of everything, the more you have choice. The more you choose, the more empowered you become, and the more you stop trying to control anything. As soon as you realize you have choice, you stop controlling. When you control, it's because you have a fear. You have a deep, deep fear. You have a fear of not believing that it's whatever it is you want is going to happen. You have a fear of, what's going to come in the future. You have a fear. There are all kinds of reasons that we control. Start choosing. How do you want to be? Don't change it. Just choose how you want to be. So, for instance, this morning when I was in massive insecurity, right? So you can you can think of anything that you're in that you don't like feeling. You don't change it. Please, I promise you, if you stop changing it, your whole life will change. I swear to you, I promise you. You don't change it or try to get out of it, right? You just choose how you're going to go through it. I'm going to be in this. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm going to feel uncomfortable. Those are choices. Those are choices. And then you can walk out into the world. You can watch everything that's going on and unraveling. And instead of trying to fight against it, you just choose. You choose with ease and grace. You choose with your heart open. You choose with almost a sense of joy in a weird kind of way. Like it's almost just like, holy shit, this is it. Here we go. Do I want to show up in resentment and anger and rage? Maybe sometimes. Or do I want to show up in, oh my God, this is a choice. How am I going to be in this? Let's do this. This is what we came here for. Holy cow, we're in it. We're in it. This is it. This is the big game, and it just started. This is why we all incarnated. This is the physical evolution. This is the greatest gift. I promise you. Every single thing you're going through, everything that you want taken away, stand in it. Let it burn you down. Let it destroy you. Let it show you what it wants to show you, so that you can become the master. And then you can help the rest of humanity. It's crazy if you think about, You start recognizing what you're standing in. Okay? Every day, what you're standing in right now, what you're standing in when you walk out there. Meaning everything that's possibly available to experience, every emotion, every thought, every disagreement, every trauma, every pain, everything. The moment you open your eyes, the availability of experiences that you're going to have is insane. And you stand and walk through it. Energy, energy, energy. It's energy, it's energy, it's energy. It's shifting me, it's shifting me, it's shifting me. All of it. And then you start becoming empowered and you say, get out of my way. It's a deep, deep remembrance, you guys. It's a cellular DNA remembrance. And there's no running. There is nothing wrong. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to change. Every moment is your greatest opportunity. Every freaking moment. And this is by far the greatest show right now. This is the greatest freaking show, and I promise you, you're very excited to be here. You're very, very excited to be here. And you figure it out. You'll figure it out. You'll master it. I promise you. You'll find peace in all of it. You'll stop running. I promise you, you will. You'll stop fixing. You'll stop changing. You'll stop resisting. I promise you, you will find heaven on earth in what you're in. I promise you. Maybe a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, I promise you, you will find heaven on earth. Which is right here, right now, which has always been with you. It's just a matter of what are you going to go through and experience in the meantime? How long are you going to fight and have temper tantrums around what it is that's shifting you? Which is every single thing that's arising. So just have that awareness. Have the awareness. The juggling act of, okay, I'm consciousness in the body, okay? Kind of hard, but okay. This is a massive experiment, okay? That's hard to hold, but okay. There is a physical evolution that's happening, okay? That's also hard to hold. Everything that's arising within me is allowing me to evolve. It's allowing me to find freedom. Well, that's definitely not easy to do, right? Everything is giving me the opportunity for peace. Everything is giving me the opportunity for wholeness. Everything is giving me the opportunity for power, for embodiment, for sovereignty, everything. And just say that to yourself over and over and over again, all day long. Am I the observer? Am I the observer? Am I the observer? Do I remember? Do I remember? Do I remember? Do I remember? Can I remember? And it becomes a massive juggling act all day long, every single day. Welcome to your human journey. Welcome to why you're here. Welcome to your incarnation. Welcome to the physical evolution. Welcome to the deep remembrance that we've been doing this for millions of years. And it's not stopping. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to get to. There's no magical heaven, physical heaven that's waiting for you. It's all right here, right now. And it is by far the most challenging thing you have ever done as consciousness. The most challenging thing. And it's the greatest gift. To be able to drink water, to feel water going through your body, to be able to love, to be able to touch, to be able to scream, to all of it. To be able to have awareness. Taking showers, it is all the gift. And it's a very difficult gift. And can you have that awareness? Can you have that awareness? And then you practice all day, every day. What? 10 minutes left? 10 minutes? Oh my God. Holy shit. Okay. 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 Wow. Okay, well, I'll hand it over to you guys if you have questions. Anything that's coming up, any personal questions, any questions about the book, anything. But before I take your questions, I just want you to sit for a moment. Just sit. You're already sitting, but be aware of sitting. Be aware of being on your chair. Be aware of your feet on the ground. Be aware of your breath. Just be aware of this moment. Be aware of your consciousness, which is the breath, which is the light. Be aware that everything is perfect. What if everything is perfect? 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 And then listen to all the thoughts that tell you the opposite and love them. Love it all. Hate it all. You choose. It doesn't matter. Just be in all of it. And one last thing. If I could say, promise me something, like we could shake on it or something, right? Be aware of everything you want to change. Please don't change it. Please try to not change it. Please trust me when I tell you that if you simply allow it, I swear to goodness gracious, your life will change. Please. Please. Be aware of everything you want to change. And try your hardest to bring awareness to not changing any of it. Biggest cheat sheet in this human journey. Promise you. Okay. Let's do a couple questions. Who has a question? Personal question, bigger perspective question. Yeah. You.
Where the heck is Phil?
Oh, Phil's in Mexico. He wanted to be here, but he's in Mexico. Phil doesn't do this kind of stuff anyway.
He's here to support you.
He would have if he was here. Yeah, he would have. Next time. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So there's this process that sometimes I go process, it's hard for me to be like, don't do anything. Because what happened last, that I spoke and there was this magical healing. So I hear that you say, like, choose your experience. So just choose one of the two. Is that what?
Yeah, it's a great question. So it's not that you, yeah, okay, so you're first and foremost, you want to be aware, right? Which is what you're doing. So you want to be aware of what you're experiencing, what you've done in the past, what you may do right now, what you may choose, what you may not choose, what may happen, what may not happen, how they're going to, you want to be aware of all that stuff that's going on, right? So you're like watching a movie. It's freaking loud. There's like all kinds of characters. Like, I don't know what's going on here. It's very loud in my head. So you want to be aware of that. That's first and foremost, because that gives you that is the power. That is the empowerment. That is presence, right? From that state, any choice is okay. Sit with that for a moment. Any choice is okay.
Because I saw it.
Because it doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter. You do the old pattern, you do the old pattern. You do something new, you do something new. You're aware, right, that there's a pattern that you fall back in that is connected to fear. So you're always trying to shift out of old patterns. So you're speaking truth, you're being vulnerable, you're opening up. Sometimes you're not going to. Sometimes fear is going to come in and you're not. Okay, allow that to be okay. That's the deeper peace. The deeper peace is allowing it all to just be okay. We try to get somewhere. We try to evolve. We try to better ourselves. It makes sense on one level. The actual betterment, evolution, is truly just allowing, observing, watching yourself. I promise you, the more you do that, the more you will evolve, the more you'll shift, the more you will speak your truths and be vulnerable and break out of old patterns. So you may fall into something you've done in the past. The more you can allow that to be okay, the faster you shift out of it. It's hard. It's hard because we want to better. We want to change. Change happens when you stop trying to change. Truly. You have to have faith in the knowingness that you're changing, meaning that you are constantly bringing more awareness to the fact that you are none of what you're experiencing. You're simply experiencing what you're experiencing. And there's always opportunity. There's always gifts in it. And the gifts are going to drop you deeper into the observer, presence, acceptance, surrender, allowing, peace. Everything's okay. If I fuck up, I fuck up. If I fall back into it, I fall back into it. If I don't speak up, I don't speak up. If I speak up and then this person can't hold it, then that's what happens. It's very hard. It's very challenging. Faith. It's a deep sense of faith. Meaning that you're changing and shifting no matter what. You're changing and shifting no matter what. We're changing and shifting no matter what. Yeah. Yes. Much love.
More so a comment.
Yeah.
Because I think you answered so many things, so thank you. Yeah, it's funny. I definitely relate to the irony of coming into the world and being like, where am I? Why am I here?
Yeah.
And at the same time, knowing that we consciously created it, right? Created our reality, know what I signed up for, all of the things. And I think another thing you've been instrumental in is feeding into the physical body. We have to anchor in here, even get to those higher dimensions. But when we're talking about some of the things that you're talking about in terms of shifting, like not having to change, I think of them as thought forms, right? We have those thought forms, I'm not good enough, or whatever comes. And when there's other people that might talk about, oh, you can just control your thoughts, but that's not really that simple to control your thoughts. So it's the ones that we attach to and give power to that amplify those energies and create kind of that suffering. So when we can sort of detach from those, I kind of think of them as an annoying little brother.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
know you, but you have to look at them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And see them first, observe them, like you were saying, to make them go away and not shift them.
They don't go away.
They don't go away.
You don't make them go
Right.
away. They are allowed here. Sit down. They don't go anywhere.
They stay.
They stay.
Until you become, a compassionate witness, right?
And they still stay. They don't go anywhere.
Yeah, so absolutely agree 100%. And then I guess so, just moving through all of that,
Yeah.
would be just getting into that good state of neutrality with everything that is going on in the world beyond, like right now.
Like what's happening out in the world.
Yeah, and like staying in that
Neutral zone. Fun. Good luck.
Any guidance on that?
I don't know. I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know how. That's. I don't have the answer to that. I think that if we're truly honest, it's almost impossible to truly have a neutral. I mean, I'm sure maybe some of you have the neutrality of what's occurring in the external world, and you really can be neutral in it. And maybe that is where we're going as a collective and as a human, consciousness. But I don't feel that very often. I'll tell you what I do. I'm aware of what's occurring. So that helps me move into somewhat of a neutral space, meaning I'm aware that there is a collective shift. There's an evolution happening externally. The shadow has to be shown. We have to see this. I'm aware that every human's going to wake up when they're going to wake up at the time that they're going to wake up. And really, truly, there isn't much that I can do other than hold space for that and choose how I want to show up in the world. But I have opinions. Right? And it's all in how you respond to the world. It's the response. So if you're neutral, fabulous. Just don't deny the opinions. Don't deny the rage, right? Eventually, we will all find ourselves on that battlefield looking around and realizing that we're all on the same team. We will realize that. It's just a matter of how long in linear time that will take. I have no idea. In the meantime, if you're not neutral, you're not freaking neutral. That just is what it is, right? And then there's a deeper peace. That will actually bring you into neutrality when you stop trying to get into neutrality. You have to be so brutally honest in what you're experiencing, in the rage, in the this is bullshit, in the I'm choosing this side. You have to be aware of that. If you're the observer of a side you're choosing, I promise you will stop choosing sides. It won't.
I think it's understanding the interplay of the light and the dark at a higher level.
Yeah, and watching it. Yeah, being aware of it, being aware, like having that higher awareness of what's happening while you simultaneously stand in it and feel it. Right? So what are you feeling as you're, when you're at the grocery store and you see certain things or whatever it is, right? When you turn on YouTube and you watch something, I don't know. What are you feeling? Don't deny any of what you're experiencing and what you're feeling. Be brutally honest in that. And then also simultaneously recognize that it is a beautiful dance of the dark and the light. It's a beautiful dance of evolution. It's a beautiful dance in frequency shifting. It's a beautiful dance of the shadow. And you just hold on for the ride. And it truly is about how you want to show up. How do you want to be in that? How do you want to be in it? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for this talk. You touched key element. One of them is being an observer. I have at times choose to observe. It is so powerful. Most of the time, I feel myself in a reaction, and I think choosing to observe is the key to get to that neutrality. And there's a missing link for me to something you have mentioned several times, unless it's related to the observer. When you say if we take that shift, we let humanity as a whole evolving, are you referring to be an observer, or is it related to something else?
Wait, say that again. What did I say?
Many times you have said, taking all that shit will help human, and being in that will help the whole humanity to evolve. Right?
Yeah.
So I have a missing link, or is it because the way we're taking that shit?
Did I really say that? Taking the shit. So, what did I mean when I said taking the shit? Yes. Being in everything that you're in is the evolution, is the shift.
Okay, but what?
The shift, not the shit. OMG. The shift. Oh my God, that is hilarious. I'm like, did I say be in the shit? Like, what is she talking about? The shift. Oh, but it is being in the shit at the same time. The shift is the shit. Being in the shift. Or experiencing the shift, yeah. Which truly is being in the shit. Yeah, which is simply just showing up for life, right? Let life serve you. Let life serve you, meaning let life show you where it wants to take you. Let life show you what's next. Don't run from what life is gifting you. That is the shift, and there's gonna be a lot of shit in there. But that is the evolution. Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah. You, way in the back. Hi.
This may not have an answer. It may absolutely be one of those weird, leave it up to the mystery and drop it into the heart center and, do your thing and not knowing. However, I want to take a stab at it. So the whole concept of heaven on earth and that we are going to experience that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a possibility, and like I said, this may not be able to have an answer in this room right now, but is there a chance, because I know you said, like, we're all going to die.
Such a positive statement, yes. We are going to die, yeah.
Is there a chance that in experiencing heaven on earth, that maybe we won't have physical death? Like, is that, there's a lot of different schools of thought amongst the likes of us, different
That we never die?
or that like the physical death that all, planet Earth is now allegedly, is this whole paradigm shift, leave the bird, drop into the old, is there a chance that maybe that might change and that
I don't have the answer. I would say, in terms of evolution, so when humanity was in a fifth dimensional field, there was no death, there was choice. Right? So it was like, I'm done now. 500 years for the body didn't age. Right? So because there wasn't density in the same way that there's density here, what causes aging is time. Right? And time is experienced very differently in the fifth dimension. And what also causes aging is disease, sickness, which is just energy stuck in the body. So, which is why you want to feel everything. But they just chose. I'm gonna go now. Yeah, I'm gonna move into some other reality. I'm gonna say goodbye now. So there was still a death, but it was most likely experienced in a very different way. It was choice. Well, we choose our death in this lifetime too. Consciously in the Akashic record. So essentially, coming and going on the planet is always a choice. So the experience of death just feels very out of our control in this third dimensional reality. And it's very short-lived. It's such a short amount of time to be here because of the density and the sickness and the disease and the chaos that can, the car, you can drive in a car and all of a sudden you can get in an airplane, and there's so many things that can cause a death. But will there be a moment again where death will be experienced in a very different way, meaning you leave the physical body? Yeah, for sure. In our lifetime, good luck. I don't know. I mean, it depends on what humanity decides to do in the next 40 and 50 years. It's possible. It's possible, but I see. I hold the glass half empty kind of. Honest to God, I do. I have no expectation, but I also know that it's possible, and that that heaven on earth is right here, right now. That I'm being gifted every day the possibility of heaven on earth right here, right now in my everyday life. Can I be at peace when I'm having massive insecurity? Absolutely, I was today. I was truly in peace while I was simultaneously listening to tons of insecurity in my head, right? So is there a possibility of what you're saying? Yeah, maybe, but humanity has to be able to feel. Let's start there. Right? Forget about our, all the other stuff. Let's just feel. Yeah. 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 Your answer is just as good as probably you probably know in the same way that I know, which is that we don't really know. But it's a possibility. That's why you're asking the question, for sure. Yeah. Who knows when it's gonna? If what's gonna unravel? Yeah.
Do you feel that there are certain sacred sites that can help activate the cellular remembrance quicker? My experience is, yes, having traveled quite a bit, specifically Egypt. Yeah, I just actually came back from living there.
Oh wow.
Pyramids like many, many times.
Yeah.
And living in Luxor, which is considered the heart chakra, and just going in those temples. I felt like remembrance is like easy access.
100%. 100%. Yeah. We have to trust what where I got goosebumps when you were talking about that. We have to trust where we're being guided and what's unraveling for us, and you also want to let go of the attachment to the cellular memories and activations. So it's going to happen. It's happening to you and for you already, right? And essentially it can happen anywhere, but yes, there are many humans that are pulled into specific places that have cellular memories of lifetimes that you've had there, right? Or lifetimes that you've watched from above, out of the physical body. And it's like a deep remembrance of like, oh my God, I remember when we were more evolved. I remember when I had these abilities. I remember this, I remember that, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah, you
might not hit, like I didn't always like right there in the moment, but it might be later, but it just seems like it just
activates.
generation, like a
Yeah.
generation, something is
100%.
yeah.
100, yeah. Because in the quantum field, everything is, hey, everything is happening right now. So you're just accessing something that's already been experienced. It's powerful.
One, just want to say I'm so thankful that you connected with the GSL and gave this book. That was complete activation for me. I don't know how many times I cried.
Aww.
Very beautiful. Question-wise, though, was one hoping maybe you could speak on karma, and because I resonated completely with that aspect of it being a paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
And when people will say clear karma, are they maybe speaking more to the ancestral lineage cords that might be in your field within your blueprint? And then just another curious thing too, with resonating with your book so much and that activation that was happening, you hear so many people channeling GFL, and this version was not something I've heard before in this way. Why are there so many versions? And I know that some of it's also from my own discernment, and I'm aware of that, but it's also just curious that you hear.
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, why is there so much different information out there? You know? And one of it is discernment. What resonates, what doesn't. None of us have the answers. What feels right to you? Everything that comes through anybody is always filtered through an ego, which is like our understanding of how the world works. So language can be very, it can manipulate the messages, right? So energy comes in, and then you can use a word that may not be the actual purest expression of that word. Then the information gets all jumbled, right? But it's less about who's right or why is there all this information, and it's just simply what resonates. Truly, what resonates. I don't have the answer as to why I say one thing and someone says something else. I don't know, you know? I just humbly sit in what is my truth until that truth changes, if it changes, right? And then when it comes to karma, I mean, karma is a present moment experience. That's truly where karma came from. What that means is how I am right here, right now will be reflected back to me. What happened with karma is that it got kind of hijacked. So it's real, it's an energetic experience, it's truth. Meaning how I show up will be reflected back to me. Problem is that there is this belief that how I show up now will impact what happens in the future. That's not true energetically. So that's one side of karma. Just because you do something now doesn't mean that it's going to come back to you. That's a form of manipulation and control. Truly. The karma that is connected to ancestral patterns, right, is simply memory. And it's It's kind of like your own trauma that you picked up along the way. So is your trauma karma?
Wait.
Is your trauma karma? Everything that happened to you that you didn't experience all the way through your body and created trauma, is that karma? No. So is the things that happened in your ancestral lines karma because it didn't get cleared? Mm-mm. It's just experiences that didn't get cleared that are coming up to be cleared. Is there ancestral patterns within us and within our DNA that are going to present itself in order for us to kind of clear it, which means just no longer play in it, no longer reproduce it? Yeah. Is that karma? Karma has been massively hijacked to control humanity. I have to do good. I have to be good. What does that mean? What is good? It's fear. But it makes sense. Oh, the karma's gonna come back to them. Unless it doesn't. That's karma. It's a very unconscious program. Karma started with the yogis thousands of years ago when they were in meditation and they started realizing the power of their own energy coming out of their bodies. They started realizing that the physical world will reflect back to them. They were like, holy shit. I don't think they named it karma. I think they were just like, holy shit, like, look at this awareness. If I am happy, happiness will be presented to me. If I am angry, anger will be presented to me. They weren't like, oh shit, I yelled at someone and I did something horrible and, 6 days later it came back to me. That's not how the energetic world works. It doesn't hold on to something. Whatever is presented to you is based on the frequency right here, right now, not on what you did 6 days ago. On that frequency. Unless your frequency is still at that old frequency that you were at 6 days ago. And that's not karma. That's just what is presenting itself based on your frequency. Huh? Then it didn't move. And then you're being presented with a reflection of your energy. It's not karma. But you can hold that belief and you can hold karma, and that's fine too. It works for people. I get it. You got to clear your karma. You got to clear your karma. I don't even know what that means. Okay, I'm going to be aware of the time. What time is it?
9:12.
What?
9:53.
Okay, I got to go.
Will you sign my book though?
Yeah, I'm going to go upstairs and sign books. Okay, you guys, one last question. Go. Amanda.
It isn't exactly a question.
Okay.
But it is like a channeled message for you that I feel so strongly guided to share with you how grateful I am for you and how thankful. And I found you in terms of time in 2017, and I'm just so thankful for the essence and the signature that you are and that you hold. And it is so important and so special to this entire evolution. You continue your essence continues to remind all of us as a collective that everything that we just are, that we're doing okay. I've been experiencing so many pains in this body and so many energies moving through, and the third eye is so open, and the crown, it's like all of these energy centers are just absolutely like so intense, and your voice and your presence in tuning into you in the most divine moments, it is such a healer for me, and I see you and I honor you. I thank you, like from the depths of soul and source. Like
Thank you.
I've been dreaming for this moment since I discovered
Aww. Yay. I came here for you. Thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate it. Thanks for being on the planet. Thanks for incarnating. I'll be upstairs signing books if you guys want me to sign a book for the next 15 minutes. Love you guys.
Lorie, do you have any books for sale upstairs?
I do, yeah.
Where is your booth?
It's upstairs. I don't know where it is. It's in the book signing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.